Hutchins Jr.'s ploy started when a diner in Illinois cafe mistook him for the missing boy from California. Arthur's biological mother had died when he was only 9 years old and had been living with his stepmother, Violet Hutchins. Eager to start a new life in Hollywood and escape the difficult relationship that he had with his stepmother, the child played along before being taken to Los Angeles to be quote-unquote reunited with Christine Collins. He received a number of letters from her via police. It was those and information he gleaned from the officers that helped him pull off the ruse. When later asked about duping the kidnapped child's mother, he said, "She was nice to me and it was so fun to be someone you aren't." Once Hutchins Jr.'s identity was exposed, Christine Collins demanded justice for her false imprisonment. A court ultimately ruled in her favor, and Jones was ordered to pay $10,800